When Jin and Jungkook stood side by side on stage during Jin's first solo concert in Tokyo for the hashtag #RunSeokjin_Peter_Japan, fans didn't just witness a performance, they witnessed history. But what followed was just as curious as the duet itself. HYBE's complete silence and no statement. No photos. No official acknowledgement. The agency's decision to say nothing about Jungkook's unexpected appearance at Jin's solo concert has left fans around the world both puzzled and excited. It's the kind of strategic ambiguity HYBE has become known for, and it's working. The internet has exploded with theories, questions, and speculation about what this moment really means. Jin's solo tour was expected to be a showcase of his individual artistry, a symbolic return to the stage post-military, a gift to fans who waited nearly 2 years for his comeback. But that carefully crafted solo narrative shifted the moment Jungkook appeared from behind the curtain and began singing Still With You alongside Jin. The performance was intimate, raw, and entirely unexpected. There was no press release, no hint from either member in advance, and no backstage photos published afterward. Jungkook exited as silently as he had entered, leaving fans emotionally stunned and curious. And then came the bigger shock. HYBE never said a word. Fans are calling it the stage whisper heard around the world. Not just because of the subtle moment where Jungkook leaned in to say something to Jin before walking off stage, but because of how HYBE's refusal to comment has elevated the moment into myth. Sometimes silence is louder than confirmation. One army wrote on X, formerly Twitter. If they had made a statement, it would have been over in a day. But now, the mystery is keeping us all awake. Some fans believe the silence is strategic. By not officially announcing Jungkook's presence, HYBE may be testing the waters, gauging public interest for future subunit stages, or soft reintroducing BTS as a performing group without committing to a full-blown comeback yet. Others suggest it's a marketing technique, meant to build anticipation for what many believe is an upcoming group album and world tour, especially since BTS is scheduled to begin working on new music in the US this July. And then, of course, there are the more romantic theories. Was Jungkook's performance a personal gift to Jin? Was it meant to mark the emotional milestone of Jin's first solo tour? Or was that whisper before he walked away something bigger? A promise, perhaps, of what's to come? The lack of comment from HYBE hasn't stopped fans from digging deeper. Video analysis of the performance is already making rounds online. Lip readers are attempting to decipher what Jungkook said to Jin on stage. Others are zooming in on airport footage from earlier in the week to confirm Jungkook's quiet arrival in Japan on fan forums and platforms like Weverse. Theories range from, this was the first step of BTS's return. They're planning surprise appearances at each other's concerts. Jin and Jungkook have recorded a duet for the upcoming album. HYBE's silence is the green light to start getting hyped. One trending post simply reads, when HYBE says nothing, start preparing your wallets and your hearts. A new era of mystery marketing. In the past, BTS and HYBE have thrived on surprises, from surprise drops like Dynamite and Butter, to emotional V-Live sessions and sudden enlistment announcements. But this moment feels different. BY leaving a monumental event like a Jin Jungkook duet completely unspoken, HYBE may be signaling a shift in their promotional strategy, letting fans become the storytellers, fueling organic buzz through community-driven content, reactions, and speculation. And so far, it's working. Within 24 hours of the performance, hashtags like #JinKookOnStage, #StillWithYouLive, and #HYBESoSilent were trending globally. Fan cams from the Tokyo concert have amassed millions of views on YouTube and TikTok. Even major outlets like Billboard and NME have covered the performance, without a single official word from HYBE. A whisper that might change everything for fans. The unanswered question remains. Was this a one-time surprise, or the first step toward BTS's next era? Jin's next stops on the tour are in Osaka and Nagoya, and already fans are booking tickets with one thought in mind. Will Jungkook show up again? Or will someone else? Whether or not the agency ever confirms the moment, one truth is clear. Jin and Jungkook didn't just perform together. They reminded the world that BTS's bond doesn't need a press release. Sometimes, all it takes is a glance, a song, and a whisper. But what if that whisper wasn't just a fleeting moment? What if it was a signal? Not to the cameras or the crowd, but to the rest of BTS. In the days that followed the Tokyo performance, speculation has intensified, and not just among fans. Industry insiders, choreographers, and even music journalists with connections to HYBE have begun to quietly hint that the Tokyo moment may have been the first domino in a much larger plan, One that could lead not only to an emotional reunion, but to a completely redefined era of BTS. Jin, whose Run Seokjin_EP tour was initially marketed as a solo celebration of his journey post-military, has now found himself at the center of a powerful narrative shift. The presence of Jungkook on stage didn't dilute Jin's solo moment, it deepened it. It expanded its meaning. And HYBE's silence only fueled the emotional gravity behind it. Now, rumors are swirling that other members, particularly Jimin and Taehyung, have cleared their July schedules and are currently in Korea or Japan under low-profile movement. Airport security teams in both Tokyo and Osaka have reportedly been reinforced. A private van, typically reserved for BTS group transportation, was spotted outside Jin's Osaka hotel late at night, prompting the question that's on everyone's lips: is BTS quietly reuniting city by city, stage by stage, one by one? And more importantly, is HYBE letting them do it their way? The whisper that sparked a storm, that final whisper between Jungkook and Jin, has now taken on a myth-like quality. Fans have analyzed dozens of angles, slowed footage, and even layered the audio from other songs over it to try to capture context. But there's something poetic about not knowing and the silence left behind. Fans have filled the gap with meaning, and that meaning is spreading like wildfire. Some believe the whisper was a personal vow, that Jungkook will join Jin for every major stop on the tour. Others say it was a message for the fans. Just wait. A promise of something more. And now, ticket sales for Osaka and Nagoya have surged. Not because HYBE told fans to buy, but because armies are trusting the silence. And what a powerful trust that is. HYBE, meanwhile, has remained eerily quiet. No edits to the tour's official webpage, no comments from staff or management. And yet, insiders have hinted that even Bang Si-hyuk himself watched the Tokyo fan cams multiple times in a private office at HYBE HQ the day after the performance. If this was a test of emotional impact, Jin and Jungkook passed with flying colors, a new blueprint for K-pop. What we're witnessing may not just be a tour. It may be the slow, deliberate rekindling of BTS, not as a product, but as a story. A story told by the members themselves, through action rather than advertisement, through presence rather than press. By allowing moments like these to unfold organically, HYBE may be pioneering a new kind of comeback, a quiet comeback, one not defined by teaser photos or countdown clocks, but by human connection, by surprise, by sincerity. The Tokyo stage wasn't loud. It didn't have confetti or camera crews, but it had something no media package can replicate. Two brothers, a song, and a shared history that no military enlistment, solo tour, or corporate strategy could ever erase. The road ahead as Jin prepares for his next stop in Osaka. Fans are not just preparing for another concert, they're preparing for another possibility. Will Jungkook appear again? Will the whisper evolve into a harmony? Will another member join next? We don't know, and that uncertainty, that breathless anticipation, has made this tour more powerful than any BTS promotion in recent years. In the end, whether HYBE speaks or not, whether they confirm or deny, doesn't matter, because in one moment of unplanned harmony, Jin and Jungkook reminded us that BTS is not a brand, it's a bond, and that bond, it whispers louder than any headline ever could.